She shouldn't be here. A light-eyed woman with a sketch pad in one hand and lies wrapped around her like armor.
Chapter 45 opens with Middlefest and Shallan Devar stepping deeper into the storm. She's not just drawing maps anymore, she's sketching her own past, and it's not what anyone thinks.
Meanwhile, Kaladin's trust is eroding like stone in high storm winds. His powers grow, but so does the pressure. If he breaks, the entire war camp falls with him.
And Dalinar, the man who speaks of honor, is about to find out what it really costs.
This is where the lies start bleeding into truth. And Roshar will never be the same.
Welcome to part 2 of Words of Radiance. Let's walk into the storm together. Hello, everyone. Hi, all. Welcome to Book Podcast Zone. I'm Emma, your guide through the storm.
And I'm John. Today, oh boy, we are embarking on a truly epic deep dive. Seriously, buckle up. Our mission is to dissect part 2 of Brandon Sanderson's monumental Words of Radiance.
Yeah, this is a big one. We're plunging into chapters 45 right through to 89.
And that's not all. We're also navigating Interludes 8 through 14, and then tackling that always enigmatic epilogue.
Yeah, our goal here really is to pull out the absolute most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from this incredibly dense, incredibly rich material.
We want to help you quickly get a really solid handle on this pivotal section of the story. Think of it as, I don't know, your Stormlight study guide, maybe.
Maybe. Or, your shortcut to sounding like you really know your stuff about the complex tapestry Sanderson weaves here.
Exactly. Full of surprising facts, maybe some connections you missed, and hopefully just enough humor to keep you hooked through this massive chunk of book.
That's precisely right. This isn't just a quick summary. We're aiming for an immersive exploration designed specifically for you, the listener. We'll be focusing heavily on the major character arcs. Obviously, Shallan.
Oh, Shallan. So much going on there.
And Kaladin, Dalinar, and of course Adolin, too. He really steps up in this part.
He absolutely does. And these chapters, I mean, this is where the foundational themes of the entire Stormlight archive just kick into high gear, don't they?
They really do. We're talking about, well, deep-seated trauma and how it just echoes through everything these characters do.
Yeah, the ripple effects are huge.
And the intricate, often super dangerous dance of deception. Who's lying to whom? Who's lying to themselves?
It gets complicated fast.
Then there's the immense weight of duty, trying to do the right thing in a world that feels like it's constantly collapsing around them.
The pressure is almost unbearable sometimes just reading it.
Right. And the ever-present allure and, let's be honest, the corrupting danger of power. We see that play out constantly.
Absolutely. And underpinning it all is this dawning, terrifying reality of a cosmic conflict, something far older, far bigger than anyone really grasped at the start.
Exactly. This isn't just a war between Alethi and Parshendi anymore. It's way bigger.
It's a section where the stakes don't just skyrocket. They, punch through the atmosphere and head for the stars.
Good way to put it. And the characters are truly put through the ringer. I mean, unlike anything they've faced before. It's intense.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with chapter 45, Middlefest. This chapter is absolutely pivotal, especially for Shallan Devar.
Oh, definitely. It sets up so much of her internal world right from the get-go in part 2. It really pulls back the curtain on, all those layers she keeps hidden.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how Sanderson masterfully intertwines her present-day stuff, the political maneuvering, trying to fit it at the Shattered Plains, with these incredibly intimate, often really traumatic, deep dives into her family's past.
Yeah, those flashbacks, they hit hard.
They really do.
Yeah.
It's like we're watching two timelines unfold at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? And each one is constantly shaping the other. It's not just backstory, it's active.
Absolutely. In the present, she's navigating these, incredibly dangerous social circles. Alethi High Society's no joke.
Full of pitfalls.
Yeah.
And she's trying to secure her family's future, get back her father's soulcaster.
Right, that super important soulcaster.
Right.
A powerful fabrial, basically lets you transmute matter, turn rock into smoke, grain into food, that kind of thing. Hugely valuable, hugely dangerous.
And her mission to get it back is already shrouded in its own layers of, calculated deceit. She's playing a role from moment one.
And what becomes immediately clear is how Sanderson uses these flashbacks. They aren't just exposition, like you said. They're not just filling in backstory. They're an active, living, often incredibly painful part of Shallan's ongoing character development.
You feel the weight of them in her prison actions.
Exactly. They're not static memories locked away. They reveal her core motivations, the very source of why she does what she does now. We start to learn about her incredibly difficult, frankly abusive relationship with her father.
Yeah, that's rough stuff.
It is. And the dark, buried secrets swirling around her family, the Vauden family history, and the profound, deeply ingrained trauma she's been carrying for years but actively suppressing.
Suppression is key for her, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And this trauma, in turn, doesn't just explain her reliance on deception, it shows it as this deeply rooted coping mechanism. She lies to others constantly, but maybe even more profoundly, she lies to herself.
Constructing these alternate realities, these different faces.
Precisely. Elaborate layers of illusion, different identities veil, radiant to protect her fragile psyche from the raw, painful truths she can't bare-face directly.
So this chapter, Middlefest, really hammers home that for Shallan, deception isn't just a tool she picks up and puts down. It's fundamental.
It's fundamentally entwined with her identity. It's this complex, almost paradoxical foundation. And here's what's brilliant. Sanderson kind of subverts the typical hero sheds lies to find truth arc.
How so?
Well, for Shallan, her true strength, her path to becoming radiant, seems to emerge not from simply abandoning deception, but from, mastering it and integrating all these fragmented parts of herself.
So the lies are part of the solution, in a weird way.
In a very weird, very Sanderson way, yes. It's a complex, almost counterintuitive path to healing and power that really challenges our conventional ideas of heroism. It's not about becoming pure, it's about becoming whole, scars and all.
And right there with her, navigating this mess, is Pattern.
Pattern. Such a unique spren.
He really is. For listeners maybe less familiar, spren are these sentient fragments of investiture, right? The magic energy on Roshar. They embody concepts, emotions, natural forces.
And they can bond with humans, leading to radiant powers. Pattern is Shallan's spren, a cryptic.
And his guidance is often unsettling, almost alien in its logic. His fascination with lies and truths feels completely different from how humans see them.
Right. He finds intricate lies beautiful, fascinating. Simple truths are boring. It's so strange, but he's absolutely pivotal in Shallan's journey.
How does he guide her, exactly?
Well, he nudges her, sometimes subtly with these cryptic riddles and hums, these sounds that take on deeper meaning later, sometimes more directly, with blunt, almost childlike observations that cut right through her defenses.
He pushes her towards confronting her past, doesn't he?
He does. He's not just a companion, he's this profound catalyst, and he's uniquely connected to her Lightweaver abilities, her power to create illusions, and also to her gradual, often really painful, uncovering of deep, uncomfortable truths.
So Pattern's presence, both in the flashbacks and her present scheming, it kind of highlights this unconventional path to power and understanding on Roshar.
Exactly. The Pattern isn't just a guide. He's like a living embodiment of Roshar's complex reality. His love for lies forces Shallan and us, the readers, to grapple with this unsettling idea that understanding isn't about simple facts. It's about navigating ambiguity, embracing nuance, finding truth within the lies almost.
It's a very strange but vital bond. It shows that the path to truth isn't always a straight line. Sometimes it's recursive, full of loops.
Recursive, yeah, that's a good word for it. And what's fascinating looking behind the scenes is how much Sanderson worked on this.
Oh, yeah. What do we know about that?
Well, if you look at his blog post from around 2014 when the book came out, he explicitly talked about extensively revising Shallan's arc.
Really?
Yeah, particularly her backstory, her emotional journey. He wanted to achieve greater emotional depth, make her feel more resonant, more real. This wasn't just a quick polish, it was a meticulous process.
So he really wrestled with getting her trauma, her relationship with deception, and her eventual growth just right.
Exactly, to make her journey truly impactful and believable. And that commitment to iterative revision, constantly tweaking and refining, it's such a hallmark of his writing process. It shows how much care he puts into these characters. He wants them to feel lived in.
And you can profoundly feel that meticulousness in the audiobook, can't you?
Yeah.
Kate Reading's narration for Shallan is just, wow.
Oh, it's incredible, especially in this chapter.
She has this truly heartfelt, almost fragile voice when she's narrating Shallan's flashbacks. It's got this raw vulnerability that just hits you.
You feel the child's fear and confusion.
Yeah. And then it contrasts so sharply with her more confident, almost sharp, witty present-day voice for Shallan's public persona, the one she puts on in the war camps.
It's not just a change in tone. It's a masterclass in vocal performance. It completely immerses you in Shallan's internal chaos and her external facade.
Reading's vocal shifts vividly portray those different layers, don't they? The raw pain and maybe innocence of her past versus the calculated composure and quick wit she uses as armor in the present.
It's just brilliant. It truly elevates the emotional stakes for you, the listener. You're not just told Shallan is fragmented, you hear it.
So thinking about all this, how do Shallan's deeply personal flashbacks not just explain her past, but actively, shape her growth and her choices right now in part 2?
That's the key question, isn't it? It's not just backstory, it's fuel. It's shaping her decisions, her reactions, her abilities.
And considering Pattern's peculiar guidance, what do his seemingly simple comments about lies and truths actually mean for Shallan's more complex, sometimes morally gray schemes?
It forces you to reevaluate everything, doesn't it? Is Pattern helping her lie better or helping her find truth through the lies, or both?
It really makes you reflect on how, maybe in our own lives, past traumas or hidden histories can profoundly influence our present actions and public personas. You see it sometimes maybe with public figures in the U.S., right? Where some past event comes to light and suddenly their current stances or actions look completely different.
Absolutely. It's that idea that personal history shapes public narrative. Just like Shallan meticulously constructs her identities, the stories we build about ourselves, whether it's for coping or for presenting a certain image, often dictate our path forward.
This intricate dance between past and present is such a universal human experience. Sanderson just nails it here, forcing us to consider if truth is ever really simple or if it's always tangled up with perspective and, well, lies.
Well said. It's deep stuff right from the start of part 2.
Absolutely. And if you're finding this deep dive into the world of Roshar as captivating as we are, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe to Book Podcast Zone, and share this deep dive with your friends and fellow fans for more insights into the Cosmere. Your support really helps us keep these conversations going.
Okay, so moving forward from that intense focus on Shallan in Chapter 45, the next block of chapters, roughly 46 through 55, is where the narrative truly starts to accelerate. It feels like Sanderson just hits the thrusters here.
Yeah, you can feel the pace pick up significantly. It's less internal focus, more external pressure building.
Exactly. This section is a masterclass in building towards a crescendo. He starts weaving together the seemingly disparate threads of our main characters, Kaladin, Shallan, Adolin, Dalinar, into this incredibly complex tapestry of escalating tension.
It feels like everything is starting to pull towards one point.
Precisely, showing how these seemingly separate storylines are, in fact, inexorably converging towards a singular, explosive point of no return. The pressure cooker is definitely on.
And you can practically feel that mounting pressure on Kaladin in these chapters. It's intense.
Oh, absolutely. His responsibilities are just multiplying exponentially. He's not just captain of the honor guard anymore. He's got Bridge 4 depending on him, Dalinar trusting him implicitly.
And the dangers he faces trying to protect Dalinar, who is, a high prince, a general, a major target, are just constant and often insidious.
Right. It's not just straightforward physical threats, though there are plenty of those. Parshendi ambushes on plateau runs, assassination attempts popping up.
Like that poisoned wine incident?
Exactly. But it's also the immense weight of expectation. From Dalinar, from his own men in Bridge 4 who see him as their savior, their leader.
And the constant threat of sabotage and political maneuvering from within the Alethi war camp itself.
Yeah.
Especially from High Prince Zedeus.
Zedeus is always lurking, isn't he? That rivalry is just simmering constantly. So Kaladin is trying to manage his bridgemen, integrate them into the Kholin army, navigate the tricky social dynamics of the Kholin household.
Which is not easy for a former dark-eyed slave.
Not at all. And keep Dalinar safe and deal with his own resurfacing traumas, that deep-seated depression, the survivor's guilt that never really leaves him, plus the expectations that come with his burgeoning radiant powers.
He's trying to figure out what he even is now.
Right. And struggling with the moral ambiguity of protecting Dalinar, a Light Eyes, a man he once swore vengeance against. It's this constant push and pull between his duty, his oaths, and his personal convictions, his past experiences.
It's an almost unbearable amount of pressure. Like you said, a tightrope walk over a chasm, and the rope is fraying.
Perfectly put. And simultaneously, while Kaladin is dealing with all that, Shallan's social infiltration efforts are intensifying, with remarkable speed and, honestly, scary precision.
She's getting good at this.
Yeah.
Maybe too good.
That's the question, isn't it? She's no longer just observing from the sidelines. She's actively manipulating people, situations, weaving this intricate web of deception using her rapidly developing Lightweaver abilities.
Those illusions are getting more sophisticated.
Much more. Creating incredibly realistic illusions, personas. She's navigating the treacherous, backstabbing waters of Alethi high society, trying to uncover secrets about the enigmatic ghost bloods.
Right, that shadowy organization she was originally sent to investigate by Jasna.
hmm And also digging into her own obscured past, trying to piece together those fractured memories, all while maintaining her elaborate cover as this naive, slightly awkward scholar.
Her ability to mimic people, to adopt different personas, she creates Veil in this section, right? Her spy persona.
Exactly. Vale emerges here. From a timid artist to a sharp-tongued wit to this capable undercover agent, it becomes an even more crucial part of her toolkit. You see her growing increasingly adept at it.
But you also see the cost, don't you?
You do. The constant pretense takes a toll on her true self. It starts blurring the lines of her own identity. Who is the real Shallan anymore? Does even she know?
It's fascinating and also kind of terrifying to watch.
Definitely. And then there's Adolin. Can't forget Adolin.
No way. His duel series reaches a fever pitch in these chapters, becomes this huge spectacle that commands everyone's attention.
These aren't just random fights for glory, are they? They're high-stakes, strategic confrontations happening in the grand arena, and they directly impact the political landscape.
Hugely. The Cullen household standing, Dalinar's influence, it all hinges on these duels.
Right. Each duel escalates the tension. It brings the Shallan closer to these really significant confrontations that are going to shake the very foundations of the Alethi war effort, and maybe even redefine what honor means in this society.
You can almost feel the anticipation building with each new challenge he accepts, especially when he starts taking on multiple shard bearers at once, completely defying normal dueling etiquette.
It's bold. Reckless, maybe, but bold. It's clear that these chapters are building inexorably towards major plot revelations and character turning points for everyone involved. Sanderson is setting the stage for something big.
Yeah, the convergence you mentioned earlier feels really strong here. Everything is tightening.
And across all these individual arcs, Sanderson is expertly building upon those overarching themes we talked about. Duty, trust, and power.
How do you see that playing out specifically here?
Well, Kaladin is grappling with his duty to protect Dalinar versus his distrust of the Light-Eyed system. The erosion of trust is huge for him, questioning who he can really rely on besides Bridge 4.
That scene where he almost confronts Emiram.
Yeah.
You feel that tension.
Exactly. Shallan is wrestling with the deceptive nature of power, both her own light weaving and the political power she's navigating, and her duty to her family, which often puts her in morally ambiguous situations. Is she using her power responsibly?
And Adolin?
Adolin is confronting the duties of an Alethi prince, the trust his father places in him, and the nuanced exercise of his own power in the dueling arena. He's constantly questioning the very definition of honor in this corrupt world he lives in. Is winning everything? Is following the rules paramount?
We definitely see the fragile nature of alliances being tested, especially between Dalinar and the other high princes like Sadeas and Royal.
Hell yeah. The cracks are showing. And the corrupting influence of power starts rippling through the war camp more visibly. People making compromises, cutting deals, forcing characters to make impossible choices.
It feels very real world in a way, like political maneuvering you might see anywhere.
It does, and thinking about the historical context, these chapters are meticulously designed. They're part of Sanderson's broader 10-book Stormlight plan. He talked about this in interviews back in 2014.
So this isn't just random stuff happening, it's all deliberate setup.
Absolutely. He's not just telling a story for this book, he's laying down carefully layered plot lines and character developments that are going to pay off across the entire series. It demonstrates this astonishing long-term vision he has for the Cosmere. It's intricate work.
And the audiobook experience in this section? Wow, it really amps up the tension.
Doesn't it? Michael Kramer's narration for Kaladin and Adolin's action sequences is just intense, almost breathless sometimes.
You could practically feel every clang of shard-blazed steel, every surge of investiture. When he narrates those high-stakes moments, like Adolin facing down multiple opponents, his voice just carries the full weight of the struggle. It pulls you right into the middle of it.
He has that gravitas, that ability to convey immense physical effort and stress.
Yeah, but then you pair that with Kate Rading's incredibly nuanced and versatile portrayal of Shallan. She handles all the intricate social maneuvering, the witty banter, the hidden meanings.
And those moments of profound internal struggle and dawning realization. Her ability to shift between Shallan's different personas, the scholar, the wit, Veil, just through her voice, is remarkable.
It really is. The combined power of their performances creates this truly gripping experience. It keeps you completely on the edge of your seat. It perfectly amplifies that palpable tension as these storylines intertwine and accelerate.
They build this immersive soundscape that just elevates the storytelling. It's not just reading words, it's experiencing the world.
So for you, our listener, How do these seemingly separate character arcs actually begin to converge here? What are the first real intersections you notice, and what does that convergence signify for the larger narrative of Roshar?
And thinking about trust. What specific examples during this period highlight the erosion of trust, or maybe the forging of new, unexpected trust among these characters? How does that affect their decisions and the delicate balance of alliances within the war camp?
It's interesting to think about, isn't it, how in real-world scenarios, maybe in complex organizations or political landscapes here in the U.S., you often see multiple converging interests. And the breakdown or formation of trust is so critical. It mirrors these intricate dynamics on the shattered plains as different factions vie for influence and power. It's all about who you can rely on when things get tough.
Absolutely. The parallels are definitely there. It's about navigating relationships under pressure.
Okay, don't miss a beat of this deep dive into Words of Radiance. If you're enjoying this detailed breakdown and the connections we're making, make sure to like and subscribe to Book Podcast Zone and definitely share it with your fellow Roshar enthusiasts. We love building this community. All right, let's talk about Chapter 56, Whitespine Uncaged. If there's one chapter that people point to as the Adolin chapter in this book, maybe even the series up to this point, it's this one.
Oh, unequivocally. This is where Adolin truly shines, steps out of his father's shadow, maybe even out of his own reputation as just the charming duelist.
Yeah. And it's a moment that resonates so profoundly for so many readers, I think, because it challenges and ultimately expands our understanding of what honor means in this world.
Absolutely. This chapter features Adolin's climactic duel, and it's not just any duel, it's an incredibly intense, high-stakes confrontation against four experienced shard bearers simultaneously.
It's just insane, unprecedented. It seems completely suicidal when he agrees to it.
Right. And he pushes his unique skills with a shard blade, that magnificent soul-slicing weapon of light, and his unwavering, almost reckless commitment to honor to their absolute limit.
He's facing overwhelming odds, a team of seasoned opponents led by Rillis and Elite, who are clearly playing dirty, coordinating their attacks.
They're trying to humiliate him, break him, maybe even kill him, all while technically staying within the rules of the challenge.
And yet, Adolin refuses to back down.
Yeah.
He embodies the very essence of Alethi martial prowess, that courage, but also this deep-seated, maybe sometimes naive sense of justice and fairness.
It's a pure adrenaline rush just reading it, a display of raw, defiant will against impossible odds. He fights smart, too, using the environment, using his opponents against each other. It's not just brute force.
No, it's incredibly skillful. But you're absolutely right. This is far more than just an exciting fight scene. This duel serves as a pivotal moment that fundamentally redefines Adolin's character.
Yeah, it moves him beyond just being the skilled, dashing fighter. Up until now, he's been primarily known as the Golden Prince, the excellent duelist, maybe a bit shallow, a somewhat light-hearted counterpoint to Kaladin's brooding intensity.
Right, the handsome, popular guy.
But this moment reveals his true depth, his unbreakable will when pushed, his steadfast principles even when they make things harder for him.
His refusal to yield, even when he's facing certain defeat, getting severely injured. And the creative, almost reckless way he approaches the fight, breaking shard plate, disarming opponents in unconventional ways.
It highlights his profound growth into a leader who commands respect, not just through his skill or his name, but through sheer force of character, his loyalty to his father and his house, and this stubborn adherence to what he believes is right, even when others would give up or find an easier way.
It's a moment of profound moral courage, isn't it? As much as physical courage. He chooses the hard path because it's the honorable path.
Yeah.
By his definition.
Precisely. And the political reshaping that comes from this victory is immense. It sends shockwaves through the entire war camp.
Yeah, this isn't just a personal win for Adolin. It has immediate and lasting implications for the political landscape of the Shattered Plains.
His victory against such possible odds dramatically solidifies Dalinar's precarious position among the other High Princes. It showcases the indomitable strength and spirit of the Cullen House when everyone was starting to doubt them.
It forces a reevaluation of alliances and loyalties, doesn't it? Sadeas must have been furious. Others might be thinking twice about opposing Dalinar now.
Exactly. It dramatically reshapes Adolin's own role and influence within Alethi society and the broader war effort. It cements him as a figure of significant importance, someone who commands unwavering respect. He's not just the prince anymore. He's a proven warrior, a symbol of Cullen resilience, someone to be truly reckoned with.
Not just admired for his looks or his charm anymore.
Right. And looking at the historical context, the fan reaction. This chapter is universally acknowledged as a fan favorite. A true standout moment in the entire series.
You see it mentioned all the time online.
All the time. It was widely praised in 2014 reviews on places like 17thshard.com, which is, a major fan community hub for Sanderson's work. People loved the sheer intensity, the incredible payoff after all the dueling buildup.
It really exemplifies Sanderson's reputation for delivering those climactic payoffs, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. If you've read his Mistborn series, especially the first one, you'll instantly recognize this storytelling mastery. He expertly builds tension over many chapters, often with multiple converging plot lines here, the duels, the political maneuvering, Dalinar's reforms, and then delivers this explosive, emotionally satisfying resolution that feels both completely earned and utterly spectacular.
It's like a signature move for him. And he absolutely nails it here. It provides this moment of pure fist-pumping triumph that echoes long after you finish the chapter.
Definitely a highlight. And if you're listening to the audiobook,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, Michael Kramer's electrifying narration of this duel is nothing short of phenomenal.
He just owns scenes like this, doesn't he?
He really does. He brings the entire grand arena to life with such vividness. Those vivid shardblade clashes he describes, they're so immersive you can almost hear the metallic ringing, feel the thrum of the blades, feel the ground shake when someone hits the stone hard.
His pacing is incredible, too. It quickens with the action, slows down in moments of desperation.
Exactly. Every thrust, every parry, every moment of desperate defense and triumphant offense is perfectly captured in his voice. His tone shifts with Adolin's pain, his exhaustion, his sheer determination.
Kramer doesn't just narrate the fight, he performs it. He makes it impossible not to be fully engrossed, holding your breath right along with the crowd in the arena.
He really does make you feel every clang and thrust, every desperate breath. It elevates the scene from just a great fight scene on the page to a truly unforgettable audio experience. It's cinematic.
So thinking about this defining moment, for you, our listener, in what ways does this single duel fundamentally redefine Adolin? How does it impact the perception of him by other characters like Kaladin, Shallan, even Dalinar, and just as importantly, by you?
And looking beyond the personal victory, what are the broader political consequences you see stemming from this duel? How does it affect the Alethi war effort, the fragile power dynamics among the High Princes? Does it ultimately help or hinder Dalinar's goals?
It really makes you think about how a single, pivotal, high-stakes event can just completely change the game for someone. You see it in sports, right? That one championship performance that defines a career.
Or in business, maybe that one make-or-break presentation or deal. Or even in public service, a moment where someone takes a stand under pressure. These defining moments can profoundly alter an individual's public perception, their trajectory, their legacy. Much like Adolin's heroic stand in the arena, it changes how everyone sees him.
Absolutely. A truly powerful chapter.
Okay, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Adolin's big moment and everything else, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe for more fantastic content from Book Podcast Zone, and share your favorite moments from this episode with friends. Your support helps us bring more Roshar analysis to life.
Okay, so Adolin has had his incredible white spine uncaged moment. What happens next? Chapters 57 through 75 feel like they take that momentum and just expand outwards, right?
That's a great way to put it. Following Adolin's defining duel, these chapters propel us much deeper into the core mysteries of Roshar. We start unveiling layers of ancient lore, forgotten history, and the narrative dramatically elevates to truly cosmic stakes.
Yeah, this is where the world starts to feel bigger and weirder in a good way.
Definitely weirder. This is where things get truly mind-bending, and our characters are forced to confront realities far beyond their initial understanding. It challenges their very perceptions of what's possible, what's real.
We continue to see Kaladin's journey with his powers, right? That exhilarating, but often really painful development of his radiant abilities.
Yeah, his Windrunner powers, manipulating gravity and adhesion, the enhanced healing, summoning Syl as a shardblade. They're becoming more consistent, more powerful. He's doing incredible things, like fighting multiple shardbearers himself, protecting Dalinar in new ways.
But it's not all triumphs and heroic surges, is it? This section is also pretty rough for him emotionally.
Oh, incredibly rough. He faces significant betrayals during this period, or perceived betrayals, maybe. People he thought were allies, or at least impartial observers, make choices that seem to undermine everything he's fighting for.
Like the situation with High Prince Royan, maybe. and the political games around Dalinar.
Exactly. And his lingering suspicions about Emaram, which start to solidify, these things deepen his already profound personal and moral struggles. The betrayals cut him deeply, forcing him to question his allegiances again, the intentions of those around him, the very nature of trust itself. Can he ever trust a Light Eyes fully?
Even Dalinar sometimes.
Even Dalinar, momentarily. He's caught between his unwavering personal loyalties to Bridge 4, to the Collins now, and the larger cause of defending humanity, but also his deep-seated resentment of the system. And the emotional toll is immense. It pushes him right to the brink of despair, time and time again. That darkness is always there, waiting.
Meanwhile, Shallan is continuing her own deep dive, but into secrets instead of despair.
Right. Her relentless, often dangerous efforts to uncover ancient secrets are ramping up. Her personal journey, confronting her past, understanding her powers, becomes inextricably linked to these larger historical truths about Roshar.
She's peeling back layers, isn't she? Both her own mental blocks and the world's hidden history.
Meticulously. Layers of deception, her own self-imposed illusions, and those woven into the very fabric of Roshar's history by powerful forces over millennia. Each revelation ties her individual story, her family's secrets, her mother's death, her father's connections to something far grander and more perilous.
She starts uncovering things about, like, the ghost bloods, the diagram.
Yeah. Exactly. Uncovering forgotten cities like the one beneath the shattered plains, ancient conspiracies involving secret societies, and the true, often uncomfortable, history of the Knights Radiant and their fall. She's not just solving a mystery for Jasna anymore. She's unearthing the very foundations, the hidden truths of Roshar itself.
And then there are Dalinar's visions. Oh man, they get intense here.
Increasingly vivid, increasingly disturbing. They become even more significant and terrifying in this section. They provide crucial, often fragmented and confusing, yet always impactful insights into the ancient Radiance.
We see glimpses of the past, right? Through the eyes of Radiance from long ago.
Yeah, experiencing their lives, their powers, and crucially, their failures. The visions offer insights into the broader cosmic conflict that has shaped Roshar for millennia. They aren't just random dreams. They feel like direct, visceral connections to the distant past.
Revealing horrifying truths about the desolations, those cyclical apocalypses that destroy the world over and over.
Mm-hmm. And the nature of honor, one of the shards, the godlike beings whose power infuses Roshar, and the terrifying reality of the coming storm, the Everstorm.
These visions force Dalinar, and by extension, you, the listener, to fundamentally reconsider everything you thought you knew about this world. They shake the very bedrock of his beliefs about honor, about the war, about the past, and they push him towards a terrifying, almost unbearable truth.
This section truly elevates the narrative into its thematic core. Sanderson brilliantly weaves in these profound themes of personal sacrifice. What are people willing to give up? What are the devastating costs of wielding power, of assuming leadership, especially when the world is on the brink?
We see characters grappling with that constantly.
And that search for true identity continues. Shallan trying to integrate Veil and Radiant with her core self. Kaladin trying to find his purpose beyond just being a soldier or a slave. Dalinar grappling with his dark, violent past the Blackthorn to forge this new, honorable future based on the codes.
It's about becoming who they need to be, not just who they were.
Exactly. And underpinning it all is that growing, terrifying awareness of a vast, impending cosmic struggle. These chapters build relentlessly towards the coming Everstorm, this sentient, unnatural, devastating tempest that threatens to change all life on Roshar forever. The stakes become incredibly clear and absolutely terrifying.
You really feel the shift from a war between humans and Parshendi to something else entirely, something ancient and alien.
Right. And in terms of historical context, these chapters represent the midpoint of Part 2, and they powerfully reflect Sanderson's overarching Cosmere-wide themes, that cosmic conflict, ancient forces, gods, and mortals.
You see similar ideas in his other Cosmere books.
It's definitely. If you've read Warbreaker with its returned gods, or Mistborn with ruin and preservation, you'll instantly recognize similar threads. Ancient cosmic forces at play, secrets slowly revealed, everything escalating towards a monumental, universe-shaking confrontation. This is Sanderson laying the groundwork for the epic scale of the entire Stormlight archive and its place in the bigger Cosmere picture.
It's ambitious stuff.
Hugely ambitious. And the narrators, Kramer and Redding, they truly heighten the stakes here too. They make these revelations land with incredible impact.
Kramer's voice for Dalinar's visions. It's commanding, almost prophetic, isn't it?
Hmm.
He captures the awe, the confusion, the sheer weight of those experiences, makes the ancient truths feel immediate and terrifying.
He does, and his intense, often strained voice for Kaladin's struggles perfectly conveys the gravity and urgency of his internal and external battles. You feel Kaladin's exhaustion, his frustration, his moments of fierce determination.
And then Kate Reading's emotive, subtly shifting portrayal of Shallan. As she navigates these complex revelations, the ghost bloods, her own fractured mind, she adds that crucial layer of raw vulnerability mixed with sharp intelligence and growing power.
Their combined efforts make these critical revelations and escalating conflicts feel truly impactful. They give them the immense weight and gravitas they deserve, making these chapters unforgettable. It's not just exposition, it's drama.
Absolutely. So for you, our listener, how do the radiant revelations in these chapters about the orders, the oaths, the past, fundamentally reshape the characters' understanding of their world and their own roles within it?
And thinking about those betrayals and shifting alliances, what are the most impactful ones that occur in this section, and how do they drive the plot forward? How do they affect the characters' fragile trust in others, maybe pushing them towards isolation or forcing them into new, unexpected partnerships?
It really makes you think about how, in our own lives or even in history, uncovering hidden truths or confronting profound betrayals can dramatically shift perspectives. It can force a reevaluation of everything you thought you knew. Think about historical revelations that change how we view past events or figures.
Or even personal discoveries about family history or disillusionment with institutions you once trusted. Those moments can be deeply unsettling, forcing a difficult recalibration of your worldview, much like what Dalinar, Kaladin, and Shallan are going through here.
It's a powerful stuff. If you're finding this deep dive as fascinating as we are, please like this video, subscribe to Book Podcast Zone, and share it so more readers can join us on this incredible journey through Roshar.
All right, Chapter 76, The Hidden Blade. This chapter feels like a culmination, a turning point, especially for Dalinar Kholin. It's monumental.
Yeah, if the previous chapters were about gathering clues and facing rising stakes, this feels like the moment where a critical piece of the puzzle slams into place. With force.
Exactly. This chapter delivers a critical, shocking truth that changes absolutely everything for Dalinar, and honestly for the future of Roshar as we understand it.
What is that truth, fundamentally?
Through his visions, his relentless pursuit of knowledge in the face of mockery and doubt, Dalinar uncovers a pivotal discovery. It's about the true nature and specifically the devastating history of the Knights Radiant themselves and the implications. They just cannot be overstated.
It's something about their past, their downfall.
It's about the recreants. The moment the ancient Radiants abandoned their oaths, betrayed their spren, and discarded their shard blades and played en masse, he learns why they did it, or at least gains a terrifying insight into their reasoning. It's a truth that's been deliberately hidden, buried for centuries, obfuscated by myths and legends.
A key piece of the puzzle he's been desperately seeking through those terrifying visions.
Wow, right. This isn't just abstract lore. It's a living, breathing, horrifying reality that demands immediate action and fundamentally reshapes his understanding of what becoming radiant again might actually mean. It's not just about power, it's about immense responsibility and potential catastrophe.
And this newfound truth profoundly tests Dalinar's leadership abilities, doesn't it? Right to their very core.
Absolutely. It's one thing to believe in a vague concept of honor, to read The Way of Kings, to hope for the Radiant's return. It's another thing entirely to grasp the terrifying reality of what that truly involves, what catastrophic mistakes were made by the Radiants themselves in the past.
Mistakes that led to their destruction, essentially.
Yeah. Yes. And what immense, almost unbearable sacrifices will be required in the future to prevent another desolation, another recreance, perhaps. He's forced to make incredibly difficult, unpopular, often agonizing decisions, not just for himself or his house, but for the entire world, for the survival of humanity.
This is where those themes of true sacrifice and long-term vision really crystallize for him, isn't it? Stemming from this harsh understanding.
It pushes the narrative hard towards its climax. He's no longer just a war-hungry general clinging to outdated codes or a high prince managing politics. He's rapidly becoming something more. A true leader, maybe, burdened by immense, terrible knowledge. A reluctant but resolute potential savior figure.
He has to carry this weight, this understanding that few others possess.
Precisely. And from an authorial intent perspective, looking at Sanderson's planning, this chapter is directly connected to his original outline for the Stormlight Archive's massive 10-book arc.
He planned this specific reveal from the start.
Indications are strong. As noted in tour interviews and various discussions around 2014, this chapter, this revelation about the Recreants, was always intended to be of paramount significance. It's a linchpin. It unlocks deeper layers of the Cosmere, the conflict on Roshar, the nature of Spren and shards. It provides the foundational understanding necessary for the entire overarching saga.
So it's not just a cool twist for this book, it's a cornerstone for the whole series.
Exactly. It demonstrates Sanderson's incredible long game approach to his epic narrative. Everything connects.
And you can profoundly feel that weight, that significance in the audiobook performance, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. Michael Kramer's authoritative voice just perfectly captures Dalinar's resolve here. His dawning understanding, the processing of this immense burden of new knowledge.
His scenes in this chapter just resonate with gravitas, like the outline says. Each word feels imbued with history and destiny.
When he voices Dalinar grappling with this truth, you feel the weight of centuries, the crushing responsibility of leadership, and the unwavering, almost grim determination that now defines Dalinar in this pivotal moment.
Kramer doesn't just read the lines. He embodies Dalinar's internal struggle, his processing, his growing, terrifying strength. It makes Dalinar's arduous journey incredibly compelling and deeply moving. You feel the shift in him.
It truly makes you feel the impact of these revelations. He makes the burden palpable.
So, as you, our listener, consider this pivotal moment for Dalinar, how does his discovery about the Recreants fundamentally shape the potential return of the Radiance? What unprecedented challenges does this knowledge present for him as a leader trying to unite a fractured, skeptical world? Does it make things harder or easier, in a way?
And what specific leadership qualities does Dalinar exhibit or perhaps struggle with in response to this truth? Is it pure resolve, or is there doubt? What can we learn from his choices as he steps into this terrifying new role, armed with knowledge that could break lesser men?
It really brings to mind the burden of leadership in our own world, doesn't it? Especially in times of crisis or profound change. Leaders sometimes have to confront difficult, unpopular truths about history, about current threats, about necessary sacrifices.
Right. They have to make decisions for the greater good, even if those decisions are painful or misunderstood in the moment. They carry that heavy, often isolating burden of responsibility. Dalinar's journey here perfectly mirrors that weight. He can't just share this casually over drinks.
No kidding, it's a secret that could tear everything apart if revealed carelessly.
We're going even deeper into Words of Radiance with every segment. If you're as gripped by Dalinar's journey and these discussions as we are, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share this deep dive with anyone who loves epic fantasy and profound storytelling. Help us spread the word about Book Podcast Zone.
Okay, so Dalinar has had his earth-shattering revelation about the Radiant's past. Adolin had his defining duel. Kaladin is juggling immense pressure and growing powers. Shallan is deep undercover and discovering terrifying truths. Where do we go from here? Chapters 77 through 83 feel like the deep breath before the plunge.
That's a perfect way to describe it. As we inch closer to the grand finale of Words of Radiance, these chapters serve as this crucial pre-climax period. It's a time of final preparations, yes, but also intense personal struggles for all our main characters.
The tension, which was already like a tangible force, becomes almost unbearable here, doesn't it? The stakes are understood with chilling clarity now.
Absolutely. Everyone from the high princes down to the ordinary soldiers and bridgemen seems to be bracing for an impact. Something big is coming, something that feels like it will reshape Roshar forever. You can feel the anticipation crackling in the air.
And we see Shallan continuing her incredible growth, right? Especially with her Lightweaver abilities.
Yeah, her command over her powers really expands here. We see her not just using illusions and deceptions defensively or for spying, but truly mastering them, integrating them into complex strategies, preparing herself actively for the impending conflicts.
She's thinking tactically with her illusions now.
Exactly. Her powers become an almost seamless extension of her will, a vital, incredibly versatile tool in her arsenal as she steps into increasingly dangerous situations, infiltrating deeper, creating diversions, gathering critical intelligence. She's taking on different personas, like Veil, with more confidence and purpose.
It feels like she's moving past simply coping with her trauma and starting to actively weaponize her unique talents, finding strength and purpose in that fractured identity we talked about.
That's a great observation. She's finding agency within the chaos of her own mind. Meanwhile, Kaladin, poor Kaladin, he's facing multifaceted challenges on every single front. It's like a tree gauntlet of suffering for him here.
He's battling internal demons still.
Oh, yeah. His own recurring despair, that crushing guilt over past losses. Tia and his first squad, Dalinar's soldiers he couldn't save, and that self-doubt that constantly threatens to consume him. It whispers that he's not good enough, that he'll fail again.
Even as he confronts these overwhelming external enemies, Seth is still out there, the Parshendi are escalating, Sidez is scheming.
Right. He's got the weight of his beloved bridgemen, the Colin family, who rely on him utterly now, and potentially the entire war camp on his shoulders. We see him constantly pushing through his limits, displaying this immense resilience, this unyielding will to protect, even when it feels like the world is collapsing around him.
When every step, every surge bind seems like agony.
Yes. Every surge of power, every leap across the chasms, it's a struggle against both his own mind and the powerful forces arrayed against him. He's stretched so incredibly thin.
And Adolin, after his big duel, is he just resting on his laurels?
Not at all. Adolin, who's often underestimated as merely the charming duelist, is now navigating the complex political fallout from his previous actions. That celebrated duel, while a huge victory for Colin morale, definitely left a wake of resentment, jealousy, and shifting alliances among the other High Princes.
Not everyone was happy he broke the unspoken rules, even if he won.
Exactly. So he's forced to navigate these treacherous political waters. We see him playing the role of negotiator more, a peacekeeper for Dalinar, trying to smooth ruffled feathers. It emphasizes his continued yet evolving role in the Alethi power struggles.
He's trying to consolidate support for Dalinar, maintain stability in this constantly shifting landscape, even as the world around them seems to be spiraling into chaos with the storms changing and the Parshendi threat growing.
All while trying to maintain his own unwavering personal code of honor, which is increasingly difficult in this environment. He's learning the messy reality of politics.
Sanderson uses these chapters masterfully to build that final tension towards the inevitable battle, doesn't he? It's like winding a spring tighter and tighter.
It's a slow burn, absolutely, but it ensures that you, the listener, are fully invested when the climax finally hits. You feel the weight of every decision, every preparation.
And he powerfully emphasizes those themes of resilience, right?
Sure.
Facing overwhelming odds.
He shows how each character, in their own unique way, pushes past their perceived breaking points. They draw strength from unexpected sources, their bonds with each other, their spren, their oaths, their own inner resolve.
And that unwavering importance of honor, especially for Dalinar and Kaladin, but Adolin too. It drives their actions, their sacrifices. It's about more than just winning the war. It's about holding on to their core principles, their very souls, in a world that seems determined to crush them.
Well said. And looking at the historical context again, these chapters are just a prime example of Sanderson's refined pacing and his ability to manage incredibly complex narrative threads simultaneously.
It's like juggling multiple chainsaws while riding a unicycle.
Huh? Pretty much. Many fans and critics, especially those who followed his work finishing The Wheel of Time, where he had to manage dozens of plot lines, have noted his extraordinary ability here. He orchestrates this intricate dance of individual struggles and overarching plot progression with remarkable precision.
He ensures that by the time the climax arrives, you're not just ready, you're fully primed for the explosion. You've been intimately involved in each character's journey right up to that point.
Exactly. And the audiobook experience here really creates that cinematic build-up to the climax. You can almost see it unfolding in your mind's eye as you listen.
Kate Riddick's dynamic portrayal of Shallan captures her growing confidence, yes, but also that underlying internal turmoil she still faces. Her voice shifts seamlessly from lighthearted wit to profound introspection, sometimes in the same breath. You hear her determination and her vulnerability.
And Michael Kramer's intense portrayal of Kaladin makes his internal battles and external confrontations feel incredibly raw, immediate, visceral. You feel his struggle, his pain, his desperate hope.
Their combined efforts build this palpable sense of impending doom and heightened stakes. It makes you feel every beat of anticipation, every held breath. As Roshar hurtles towards its destiny, you just know something huge is about to break.
Absolutely. So for you, our listener, how do each of the main characters individually and collectively prepare for the looming climax, both physically and emotionally during these chapters? What are the key preparations you notice?
And what specific themes, resilience, honor, identity, sacrifice, maybe even the cost of power, do you think primarily drive their actions and choices in these crucial chapters leading up to the final confrontation? What's motivating them most strongly right now?
It really makes you consider the psychological and practical preparations people undertake before major life events or challenges, doesn't it? Think about soldiers before a battle, athletes before a championship, even students before a major exam.
That sense of bracing yourself, focusing, drawing on inner strength.
Exactly. Just like in Roshar, resilience in the face of overwhelming odds is often the key to navigating incredibly difficult situations and hopefully emerging stronger on the other side. These chapters are all about that resilience.
Powerful stuff, building towards the end. If you're hooked on this deep dive and appreciating the detailed look, please show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing this episode with anyone who loves to explore the depths of epic fantasy. Your engagement truly helps us continue these conversations at Book Podcast Zone.
Okay, chapter 84, the deepest ones. If chapter 56 was Adolin's defining moment, this chapter stands as Shallan's. It's her emotional and psychological climax for this book, and wow, does it hit hard.
Yeah, this one is intense. It's a raw, powerful confrontation, not just with external threats, but with her own past. The layers of her carefully constructed deceptions finally begin to unravel here, not just for us, the readers, but crucially for Shallan herself.
Absolutely. This is where Shallan doesn't just confront a truth. She confronts her deepest, most painful, most violently suppressed memories. Those memories she's kept locked away in a dark corner of her mind, even from herself, for years.
It's a harrowing journey into her own profound trauma, isn't it? Forcing her to relive the tragic events of her childhood, particularly those involving her parents, the death of her mother, and her own terrifying actions in that moment.
Mm-hmm. The truth about the shard blade she summoned as a child, the truth about her father's death later on, it all comes rushing back in a torrent of pain and confusion.
But through this agonizing process, this forced catharsis, she achieves something incredible, right? The full realization and command of her Lightweaver powers.
Exactly. It's a significant turning point, not just in her ability to manipulate light and sound with incredible precision and complexity, but in her ability to finally face her own true fragmented self, to accept the different parts of her identity.
It's a moment of immense vulnerability. She's broken open, but also incredible power coexisting, like a painful birth of a new, more integrated identity. Maybe not fully healed, but acknowledged.
Well put. And Pattern's role becomes fully clarified and profoundly significant in this chapter, too. It reveals so much more about the unique nature of Spren, especially cryptics, and their incredibly intimate, often symbiotic bond with Radiance.
His seemingly simple, often unsettling pronouncements about lies and truths, which initially seemed alien or just weird, they gain this profound, almost heart-wrenching meaning here, don't they?
They absolutely do. He's not just a curious Spren fascinated by patterns and lies. He's a direct mirror to Shallan's psyche. He's been helping her, guiding her towards accepting the lies she tells herself, because accepting those lies, acknowledging them, is the first step towards integrating them, towards finding the truth underneath.
So his and fascination with lies wasn't just random.
Not at all. It was deeply connected to her specific trauma and her need for self-deception. He helps her shed the illusions she's meticulously built, and in doing so, he reveals deeper truths about the Cosmere, about the Nahel bond, the connection between humans and Spren, demonstrating that true bonds are often forged through shared pain, shared secrets, and radical vulnerability.
His strange nature suddenly makes terrifying, poignant sense.
It really does. And Sanderson masterfully blends this thrilling high-stakes action because Shallan isn't just sitting contemplating her past here, she's in real danger.
Right, there's that terrifying encounter in the chasms.
Exactly. She's facing a physical threat that forces her to push her powers and her mind to their absolute limit simultaneously. This blend of internal psychological breakthrough during intense external conflict deepens Shallan's arc significantly.
It makes her evolution feel incredibly earned, deeply impactful. It's not just a convenient therapy session, it's forged in fire.
Precisely. It's a testament to how action can serve character development, providing the crucible for transformation rather than just being spectacle. The pressure forces the change.
And thinking about the writing process again, this chapter was one Sanderson specifically mentioned revising. Right.
Yes, absolutely. He discussed in his 2014 blog post how this specific chapter, the deepest ones, was revised for emotional impact. He recognized its critical importance to Shallan's entire journey and went back to refine it, ensuring it resonated as deeply as possible.
So he knew this was a linchpin moment for her.
He did. This commitment to iterative writing, his dedication to character depth, really shines through here. He didn't just draft it and move on. He revisited and meticulously refined it until it hit just the right devastating emotional notes, ensuring it would resonate deeply with readers and stand as the pivotal moment for Shallan in this book.
And you can truly feel that dedication in the audiobook. Oh my gosh. Kate Reading's heartfelt narration of Shallan's struggle here is just phenomenal. It's possibly her best work in the entire book.
It's incredibly powerful. She captures every nuance of Shallan's profound pain, her deep-seated fear, her desperate denial as the memories surface, and ultimately her hard-won, fragile triumph as she speaks the truth.
For many listeners, myself included, this chapter becomes a genuine tearjerker. Because reading's incredible raw performance just allows you to feel every agonizing moment of Shallan's breakthrough. It's emotionally draining in the best way.
And even Pattern's distinct alien tone, voiced so uniquely by Rating, with its unnerving clicks and hums, it adds this crucial layer of eerie intrigue and then undeniable profundity to the revelations. His strange pronouncements become even more impactful as Shallan finally comes to terms with her truths, and he's right there with her.
It's an unforgettable listening experience. It will definitely stay with you long after the chapter ends.
So for you, our listener, how does Shallan's confrontation with her deepest truths, the murder, the lies, the trauma, ultimately shape her identity? How does it solidify her path forward as a Lightweaver, embracing both the light and the dark within herself?
And what crucial, perhaps unsettling insights does Pattern offer about the nature of Spren and their relationships with humans? How does this change our understanding of the Nihil bond and maybe even the Cosmere as a whole? What does it say about truth and memory?
It really makes you reflect on the universal human experience of confronting one's past traumas or deepest fears to achieve personal growth, doesn't it? Like Shallan shedding those long-held illusions, even the ones that felt protective, can be incredibly difficult, incredibly painful.
But also profoundly liberating, right? Leading to a more authentic, maybe more complex, but ultimately stronger self. It's that idea of integration rather than denial.
Exactly. Painful, but necessary for growth. A truly stunning chapter.
You're with us on Book Podcast Zone for this epic deep dive into Words of Radiance. Remember to like, subscribe, and share to help more people discover Roshar and join our conversations about this incredible series. We appreciate your support. And here we are. After all the build-up, the personal breakthroughs, the mounting tension, chapters 85 through 89, the absolute culmination, the grand finale of Words of Radiance.
This is it, the final, sprawling, utterly breathtaking battle for the Shattered Plains, and maybe for the future of Roshar itself.
This is where everything we've been talking about, all the character arcs, the political intrigue, the radiant powers, the ancient threats, converges in one epic, grand-scale confrontation that you will not soon forget. It's the payoff.
And what a payoff it is. This final battle unfolds with unprecedented scale and ferocity. We have Kaladin, Dalinar, Adolin right at the forefront, leading the charge.
Facing the full, terrifying might of the emerging Everstorm, that unnatural, backwards-blowing high storm, and the ancient, monstrous Voidbringers, the Parshendi transformed into terrifying storm-form soldiers.
It's not just a skirmish or a clash of armies anymore. It's an all-out war for survival, a desperate, brutal struggle for the very future of humanity on Roshar. Every tactical decision Dalinar makes, every surge of radiant power from Kaladin or Shallan, every personal sacrifice Adolin makes, it all matters immensely, often determining life or death for thousands.
The action is relentless, isn't it? Almost overwhelming. Sanderson throws everything at the wall here.
He does. It's utterly captivating, pulling you right into the chaos, the fear, the heroism. We see the Alethi forces, once fractured and squabbling, now fighting as a more cohesive unit under Dalinar's command, galvanized by the immediate threat. Facing an enemy they thought was just legend, myth.
And during the chaos and intensity of this battle, we get some of the most significant, radiant revelations of the entire book, don't we? Those moments that just send shivers down your spine.
Oh, absolutely. We witness the resurgence of ancient powers, the strengthening of Spren bonds in ways we haven't fully seen before. We truly see Radiance coming into their own, embracing their oaths and potential.
Character speaking higher ideals.
Yes. Kaladin speaks his third ideal here, unlocking new levels of power and understanding. Shallan is creating illusions on a massive scale, wielding her powers with newfound confidence after her breakthrough. Powers that were only hinted at or partially understood before come roaring to life in spectacular fashion.
It's an awe-inspiring display of the true potential of the Knights Radiant, isn't it? It fundamentally changes the landscape of Roshar forever, demonstrating that humanity might, against all odds, actually have a fighting chance against the storm.
It's that spark of hope amidst the overwhelming darkness. And importantly, this battle serves as a powerful conclusion, or at least a major turning point, for many of the major character arcs we've been following throughout the entire book.
Kaladin's arduous journey, overcoming despair, finding his purpose beyond just survival or vengeance, embracing his role as a protector.
Shallan's profound confrontation with her identity, her acceptance of her past, and the mastery of her powers, finding her place in the conflict.
Dalinar's quest for truth, his unification efforts, his embrace of that terrifying leadership role based on honor and the codes.
And Adolin's defining moments of honor, his sacrifice in the duels, his loyalty, his growth beyond the dueling arena. Many of these intricate threads come to a satisfying, if not completely resolved, conclusion right here amidst the overwhelming chaos of the battle.
It's a testament to Sanderson's skill, isn't it? Weaving those deeply personal narratives into the very fabric of this massive world-altering conflict, showing how individual choices, individual growth, can impact global destinies.
Absolutely. It's not just spectacle, the character work continues right through the climax. And it's no surprise that these chapters are universally praised by fans for that climactic payoff and the sheer spectacle.
They really solidify Sanderson's reputation for delivering incredibly satisfying, explosive resolutions, don't they?
They do. If you look at reviews on 17thshard.com or other fan forums from back then, this battle is consistently highlighted as mind-blowing, emotionally charged, and spectacularly executed, a conclusion that feels earned after nearly 1,000 pages of build-up.
He truly understands how to bring a sprawling narrative to a powerful and meaningful close, leaving you both exhausted from the tension and exhilarated by the events. And of course, desperate for what comes next, even as you're still reeling from what just happened.
Exactly. And the audiobook experience here, it's just brilliant, a true masterclass in dual narration for a complex battle scene.
Michael Kramer and Kate Reading's alternating narration truly creates that cinematic battle experience for you, the listener. It's incredibly effective.
They seamlessly switch perspectives, often mid-scene, sometimes even mid-paragraph. It allows you to be inside the head of each key character. Kaladin soaring through the sky, Dalinar commanding on the ground, Adolin fighting desperately, Shallan weaving illusions, feeling their fear, their determination, their triumphs in rapid succession.
It's full of those intense action and profound emotional highs. It makes the entire sequence incredibly dynamic, immersive, and utterly unforgettable. You feel like you're everywhere at once.
You're not just hearing a story about a battle, you're living the battle, feeling every shard of stone kicked up by the Everstorm, every flash of stormlight, every surge of courage and despair. It's phenomenal work from both narrators.
Absolutely unforgettable. A sequence that really cements the book in your memory. So thinking about this massive climax, how does the chaos and grandeur of this final battle serve to resolve the overarching narrative threads for Kaladin, Dalinar, and Adolin, bringing their individual journeys in this book to a head?
And what new truths about the Everstorm, the Voidbringers, the nature of this ancient conflict are revealed amidst the destruction? What do those revelations powerfully foreshadow for the future of Roshar and the wider Cosmere in Book 3 and beyond?
It really makes you think about how, in our own world, major conflicts or crises can often bring about transformative change. They reveal true character under pressure, much like how societies or individuals respond to immense pressure, showing their true resilience, their capacity for both heroism and failure. This battle feels like a crucible for everyone involved.
It absolutely is. A crucible that forges heroes, breaks others, and changes the world forever.
This deep dive is truly a journey of discovery, and we're thrilled you're on it with us. If you're enjoying the in-depth analysis of this epic climax, please like this deep dive, subscribe to Book Podcast Zone so you don't miss out on any future explorations, and share it with fellow fans. Your support keeps the Stormlight burning. Okay, before we get to the final interludes and the epilogue, let's take a quick but crucial detour into Interlude 8, A Form of Power. This one focuses on the Parshendi general, Eshonai.
Yes. These interludes are often these little mini masterpieces scattered throughout the book, aren't they? They expand the world in fascinating ways without disrupting the main narrative's flow. And this one is particularly poignant, tragic even.
It gives us that rare, crucial look into the motivations of the enemy, the Parshendi, who are rapidly becoming the Voidbringers.
Exactly. This interlude delves into Eshonai's momentous and ultimately tragic decision to embrace a new, aggressive form of power, the Storm form. It's linked to the Everstorm.
It's a profound choice, isn't it?
Mm.
Not just for her personally, but for the entire Parshendi people, who feel like they're facing extinction at the hands of the Aletha invaders.
She's grappling with the horrifying implications of her people's transformation, the loss of their old forms, the dulling of their minds in some forms, but also the allure of the power offered by the storm form Spren. It feels like a desperate, almost suicidal hope for their survival.
Even if it means fundamentally changing who they are, embracing something potentially ancient and destructive.
Right. This choice directly escalates the Parshendi's transformation into what the humans call void bringers. And as a direct consequence, it intensifies the threat of the Everstorm, their terrifying new high storm-like entity, summoned by their songs and powered by this new form. It's a tragic inevitability that she embraces, believing, perhaps wrongly, that it's the only way left to save her people.
It's such a brilliant thematic exploration by Sanderson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Giving us this nuanced perspective that's often missing in epic fantasy's good versus evil narratives.
He offers this incredibly insightful analysis of sacrifice and the true, often devastating cost of embracing power, especially when it comes from a place of utter desperation.
Eshonai's decision is born out of this profound desire to save her people from annihilation, to protect their culture, their future. But it comes at this immense personal and cultural price.
The loss of their identity, their connection to the rhythms in the same way, their relatively peaceful nature, and perhaps even their souls, their free will, depending on how you interpret the influence of the Spren and Odium.
It deepens the tragic nature of the Parshendi's journey so much. It shows them not just as faceless antagonists or monsters, but as a people making desperate choices under unimaginable pressure, driven by survival, and maybe a distorted sense of hope offered by ancient malevolent forces.
Absolutely. And this interlude, like others throughout the series, is a true Cosmere hallmark. Sanderson uses these interludes not just to expand world-building geographically, but crucially to provide these non-human perspectives.
We saw that beautifully done in Warbreaker too, right, with the Returned Gods.
Exactly. These moments allow him to explore the motivations, the inner lives, the cultural complexities of characters from different species, different cultures, different viewpoints. It gives us a far richer, more nuanced understanding of the conflicts at play, rather than just a purely human-centric perspective.
It adds layers of moral ambiguity to what could otherwise be a simple good versus evil story. You feel sympathy for Eshonai, even as she makes this terrifying choice.
You really do. And Michael Kramer's narration here, his somber narration of Eshonai's resolve, is just perfect. He imbues the scene with this profound sense of foreboding and tragedy.
He captures the immense weight of her decision, doesn't he? Her quiet determination, but also the deep, almost unbearable sadness that underpins her choice, even as she accepts this monstrous transformation for the sake of her people.
His vocal performance adds significant emotional depth. It makes this interlude particularly haunting for the listener. You truly feel the gravity of her sacrifice and the terrible path she chooses, the potential doom she's unleashing.
It makes you really ponder the weight of leadership, the impossible choices leaders sometimes face.
So thinking about that, how does Eshonai's fateful choice impact not only her own destiny, but also the fate of the Parshendi people and the broader conflict on Roshar? How does it change them irrevocably?
And what does this interlude reveal about Parshendi culture, their motivations, their connection to the rhythms, and that complex, almost symbiotic relationship they have with the Spren and the High Storms? It hints at a connection far older than human history on Roshar, doesn't it?
It really does. And when we consider the ethical complexities of difficult choices, particularly those made by leaders under immense pressure, we see how even well-intentioned decisions, driven by survival, can have vast, unforeseen ripple effects on entire communities.
Like a critical leadership decision in our own world, maybe during wartime or a major crisis, that shapes the trajectory of a company or even a nation for generations to come, sometimes in ways the leader never intended.
Exactly. Eshonai's choice is one of those moments. Powerful, tragic, and world-changing.
For more deep dives into the Cosmere and other epic fantasy worlds, including these fascinating non-human perspectives, be sure to like this episode, subscribe to Book Podcast Zone, and share it with your friends and fellow bookworms. Your support truly helps us keep exploring these incredible stories.
Okay, so after Eshonai's incredibly poignant and pivotal interlude, we encounter the final block of interludes in the book. Interludes 9 through 14. Collectively, these serve a crucial purpose.
Yeah, they really broaden the lens, don't they? They expand the geographical, the cultural, and even the historical scope of Roshar in some really interesting ways.
Exactly. They introduce compelling new characters or give us updates on characters we've met briefly before, and they hint at deeper mysteries bubbling just beneath the surface, all without ever derailing the main narrative's forward momentum towards the epilogue.
They're like these little tantalizing glimpses into other corners of this vast, complex world Sanderson has built.
Precisely. These interludes feature some truly memorable characters like Lift.
Oh, Lift is just awesome. So unique. A charmingly irreverent young, radiant in training, an edge dancer who can convert food directly into investiture, into Stormlight.
And glide around like she's sliding on ice. Her perspective is so refreshing, so different from the seriousness of the main cast.
Totally. And then we also get updates on Seth's son Villano, the assassin in white, his own tortured journey carrying that oath stone, the weight of his truthless status. It continues to unfold with chilling revelations about his past and his masters.
His story gets even darker and more complicated here, but it's not just those two major interlude characters. We also get glimpses of various minor figures from vastly different regions and walks of life.
Right, like scholars in obscure libraries uncovering fragments of lore, ordinary people in distant cities grappling with the strange new realities, the changing storms, the rumors from the plains.
Together, they greatly expand the geographical and cultural scope of Roshar. They show us that this world is far vaster, more diverse, and infinitely more complex than just the Shattered Plains or Alethi society. We see different cities like Thaylen City, unique customs, alternative perspectives on the coming desolation. It makes the world feel so much bigger and more real.
And crucially, these interludes subtly reveal additional lore, don't they? About the ancient Radiance.
Shedding more light on their history, their different orders. We learn more about the Skybreakers through Seth's journey, the Edge Dancers through Lift, and their ultimate downfall, the Recreants.
They also provide tantalizing new details about the terrifying Voidbringers, the different types of Spren, maybe even hints about the Heralds.
And the very fabric of the Cosmere itself, hinting at interconnected magic systems, other shards, cosmic entities like cultivation, maybe. These aren't overt info dumps, though. They're carefully placed nuggets of knowledge.
Almost like hidden gems for the attentive reader or listener.
Right. They deepen the world building and provide vital foreshadowing for future developments, subtly building this grander universe around the main narrative without being intrusive.
This is where Sanderson truly excels, I think. He uses these brief glimpses to contribute to the immense richness of the world, to introduce fascinating new mysteries that will clearly pay off in later books.
And to constantly reinforce those grand cosmic stakes that underpin everything happening on Roshar. Each interlude is like opening a little window onto a different corner of the Cosmere.
A powerful reminder that the immediate conflict on the Shattered Plains, while massive and all-consuming for our main characters, is just one part of something even larger, older, more ancient. A conflict spanning worlds, maybe.
Exactly. And this ingenious structure, including these diverse interludes, is truly a Stormlight signature. It's a unique narrative device that has garnered widespread praise from fans and critics alike.
They are consistently praised in fan discussions and reviews for their unique contribution to the series' phenomenal world building, aren't they?
Absolutely. They allow Sanderson to tell tangential stories, introduce characters who will become important later, like Lift and Seth, and flesh out the intricate mechanics and history of his universe without interrupting the main plot flow of the primary characters. It's a brilliant, highly effective narrative device that few authors manage to pull off with such grace and purpose.
And you really need versatile narrators to make these work in audio format, right?
Oh, definitely. Michael Kramer and Kate Reading's varied tones are absolutely crucial in bringing these unique characters and settings to life within these short, often disparate segments.
They effortlessly shift accents, cadences, moods, making each interlude feel distinct, fully realized, and instantly engaging.
It's impressive how they can quickly establish a character's personality and environment in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
From Lift's youthful exuberance and slang,
Tarvin.
exactly, to Seth's chilling detachment and monotone delivery. Their vocal versatility makes these quick transitions between characters and settings seamless and utterly engaging for the listener. Each brief chapter feels like its own mini-adventure.
So, for you, our listener, how do these seemingly standalone interludes taken together enrich our understanding of Roshar? How do they reveal its diverse peoples, cultures, hidden corners in ways the main narrative maybe can't?
And what specific pieces of lore or character introductions in these interludes lift, Seth, maybe the glimpses of Teravangian's activities, the Skybreakers, do you think serve as the most important foreshadowing for future events, or deeper mysteries that will undoubtedly unfold in the Cosmere?
It really makes you think about how, in our own world, seemingly minor details, fleeting encounters, or background stories can contribute to a much larger narrative tapestry. Like how diverse local stories, different cultural perspectives across the U.S., for instance, contribute to the overall fabric of the nation, revealing hidden complexities in interconnectedness you might miss if you only focused on the headlines.
Well said. These interludes add that essential texture and depth. They make Roshar feel like a living, breathing world far beyond the main stage.
Loving this deep dive into the nooks and crannies of Roshar. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share Book Podcast Zone so you don't miss out on any future explorations into epic fantasy and the Cosmere. Your support helps us dive even deeper. And so, after that massive climax, after exploring the wider world through the interludes, we finally arrive at the epilogue, art and expectation, and the man himself, Wit.
Wit. Also known, of course, as Hoid across the Cosmere. He always gets the last word, doesn't he?
Seems like it. This is a truly cryptic, yet profoundly impactful conclusion to Words of Radiance. It leaves us with, frankly, more questions than answers, but in that classic, tantalizing Sanderson way.
Absolutely. Wit's characteristic cryptic monologue here plays this multifaceted role. It assumes as both a philosophical commentary on the events we've just witnessed and also kind of a meta-narrative on storytelling itself.
He acts as this profound, often deeply cynical commentator, doesn't he? Tying together various narrative threads we might have missed and offering his unique, often unsettling perspective on everything that's happened and on the nature of truth, lies, art.
His words are always meticulously laced with double meanings, ancient wisdom, he is incredibly old after all, and potent foreshadowing. He's perpetually challenging the listener, the reader, to dig deeper, to question what they've just experienced, to look beyond the surface.
And then there's the twist, the shocking twist that Wit delivers in his final interaction in this epilogue.
Right, the interaction with Jasna, who everyone thought was dead.
Exactly. Her reappearance is stunning enough, but the implications of their conversation, particularly regarding the assassination attempt on her at the start of the book, it reframes so much.
It potentially reframes Shallan's entire journey, her motivations, the very nature of the threat she faced. It adds this devastating layer of complexity and potential manipulation to her past and Jasna's actions.
It's a moment that fundamentally alters your understanding, or at least makes you question your understanding, of Shallan's backstory, Jasna's plans, maybe even the Ghostblood's goals. It sends ripples through everything you thought you knew.
It recontextualizes past events and motivations, leaving you questioning everything. And it powerfully highlights those themes of truth, perception, and deception that have been so central, especially to Shallan's arc, but also to the whole book.
It's a classic Sanderson movie, isn't it? Delivered with Wit's signature, almost cruel, knowing flair.
Yeah.
Ensuring the book ends not just with resolution, but with a profound intellectual punch, a new mystery.
Definitely. And this epilogue is just a masterclass in setting the stage for future books, both in the Stormlight archive and the wider Cosmere.
Sanderson uses Wit's appearance, Jasna's return, their cryptic conversation, to leave these tantalizing questions unanswered, introduce new mysteries about world hopping, about Hoid's own goals, about the true nature of the conflict.
And hint at the monumental conflicts yet to come. It subtly expands the scope of the universe right at the very end. It's not just an ending to Words of Radiance, it's a launchpad for the next phase of the saga, Oathbringer and beyond.
It ensures you're left desperate for more, reeling from the implications, eager to uncover the next layer of secrets.
And those themes of truth and deception are brought right back to the forefront in Wit's final words, his musings on art and expectation. Challenging assumptions, reinforcing the idea that reality itself can be subjective, shaped as much by perception, by narrative, as by objective fact.
This epilogue got huge praise online, didn't it? For being just mind-blowing.
Universally. On 17thshard.com, across the fantasy community, it was hailed as a mind-blowing climax, a true mic drop moment. It's a perfect reflection of Sanderson's proven skill for narrative payoffs.
Where he delivers not just an action-packed ending with the battle, but also this thought-provoking, world-expanding conclusion that reshapes your entire understanding of the story and sets the stage for grander things.
It's a testament to his long-term planning and his incredible ability to surprise and delight his audience, even after 1,000 pages.
And Michael Kramer's enigmatic delivery of Wit's lines is just crucial here, isn't it?
Yeah.
He perfectly encapsulates the character's ancient, knowing, mischievous, and often deeply unsettling presence.
He captures Wit's sardonic humor, his vast ancient wisdom that comes through even in casual remarks, and his profound underlying mystery. What is Hoid really after? Kramer makes the epilogue incredibly thrilling and intellectually stimulating just through his performance.
He enhances the mystery and the intellectual intrigue of Wit's monologue, making it a truly memorable, unsettling, and thought-provoking conclusion to the entire book.
And even Kate Redding's earlier contributions, especially her voicing of Shallan and Jasna, they kind of echo in your mind as you listen to Wit and Jasna talk, adding to the layers of complexity as Wit reflects on truth, art, lies, and the stories we tell ourselves. It all comes together.
So, as we wrap up this massive deep dive into part 2 of Words of Radiance, let's leave our listeners with a final provocative thought, building on Wit's enigmatic words.
Okay, how about this? If, as Wint seems to suggest, truth can be so malleable, so dependent on perspective and narrative, and perception is so vital, what does it truly mean to know anything? Especially in a world as complex and layered as Roshar, where history is rewritten, gods might be dead or insane, and even memories can be deceiving.
And maybe even extending that. What does it mean for our own world? If stories shape reality, how do we navigate the narratives we encounter every day? What layers of reality might still be hidden from us, shaped by the stories we're told, or the stories we tell ourselves, waiting for the right perspective, or perhaps the right artist, the right wit to reveal them?
It's a fascinating, maybe slightly unsettling question to ponder, isn't it? Hinting at the profound depths of Sanderson's Cosmere, and maybe even our own reality.
Indeed. We hope you've enjoyed this extensive deep dive into part 2 of Words of Radiance. It was a beast of a section, but so rewarding to discuss.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the storm. Remember to like this deep dive if you found it insightful. Subscribe to Book Podcast Zone for more in-depth content and discussions on Stormlight and other great fantasy.
And please share with fellow fans, or anyone curious about diving into epic fantasy.
Yeah,
Your support means the world to us.
it really does.
Until next time, keep exploring.
And keep reading.